Let's take a listen at this from John Mearsheimer.
Is a military option, unless they want to stop the war in Gaza. And if they stop the war in Gaza, Hezbollah has made it clear that they will stop shelling northern Israel. But they're not going to stop the war in Gaza, and therefore the shelling is going to go on. And this is causing huge problems for the Israelis because approximately 60,000 people have been displaced from northern Israel and have moved into the center of Israel and don't have, permanent homes to live in and want to go back to their homes in the north. So the Israelis are desperate to do something to fix this problem. And the only option they see is a military option. And they now say that the plans are in place. And there's all sorts of evidence that they're going to go to war against Hezbollah. And they are going to eliminate Hezbollah in the same way that they have eliminated Hamas, which is to say they haven't eliminated Hamas, and they're not going to eliminate Hezbollah, and they're going to find themselves in another quagmire. I think a lot of people in Israel sense that that is the case or know that that is the case, but they feel they really have no option at this point in time because they have to do something about Hezbollah. And what else can they do?
Well, right now, Iran is desperate. Israel is now desperate to drag Iran into this war. Okay, this is their number one mission. This is what they're working for day and night. And this is why we have seen attacks on a football pitch, as they claim was carried out by Hezbollah, but it was not. It was IDF. They misfired Iron Dome, and the missile or the bomb, whatever it is, landed in that football pitch, causing death. It was done by IDF. Why? Well, you guessed it right, because they want the whole world to see now, especially US and UK and their European allies, that Hezbollah and Iran, they're responsible for such atrocities, as they term it, atrocity. Obviously, they don't term what they're doing in Gaza as genocide, but for them, this is, oppression. This is another level of violence. Oh my God, how could they do this? But the point here is that this is how they want to drag everybody into this conflict and coalescing with them to attack Iran. They want to convince the world to attack Iran. This is what they want. Don't make any mistake, because as long as Iran is there, they can never deal with Hezbollah. As John Mearsheimer, he says, 60,000 people have been displaced from northern Israel, moved into central Israel, have no place to live. They have probably become homeless, no food on the table. I mean, these people are struggling. And for Netanyahu to have this happen at this time, this is a very pivotal moment in his political career. It is not going to pan out very well. In fact, opposition against him, protesters against him, the number is rising every single day. Just a few days ago, we have seen in the news that the Israelis, they are now coming out on the streets in masses. Who these people you think are? These are not only the families of the hostages that are being kept by Hamas, but also these 60,000 people who are being displaced, and more people are getting displaced. Now we have almost a full-fledged war, all-out war happening in northern Israel. Do you think the number stayed 60,000 Israelis being displaced? No, the number is increasing every single day. And so the pressure is mounting on Netanyahu, the Shaitanyahu, and therefore he must have the support of US to attack Iran and stop this once and for all. Obviously, in his moronic mind, he believes this can be accomplished. He's a narcissist. He doesn't care if Russia will later on join Iran to attack or launch counterattacks against American interests and assets in the Middle East. He doesn't care if there is a World War III. He doesn't care if you leave, if I leave. All he cares is self-defense of Israel. Well, no. All he cares really is his own defense, because this guy is doomed.
Go to war. But going to war is not going to solve their problem. All this just shows how much trouble Israel is in. It's got huge problems with Hamas. It's got huge problems with Hezbollah. It's got huge problems with Iran, and it has no simple solution for any of these problems. There's no question that the Biden administration is going to enormous lengths to head off a war against Hezbollah, number one. And number two, as we've talked about, is going to enormous lengths to try and shut down the war against Hamas. So the Biden administration does not want Israel to be in a two-front war. But as we both know, the United States has very little leverage when it comes to Israel. And if Israel decides to go to war against Hezbollah and continue the war against Hamas, we will support them fully. I don't think we will end up putting ground forces in either one of those fights, but I do think we will support the Israelis completely, as we almost always do. And the end result will not be good for the United States, which again is why Biden doesn't want this to happen. The Republicans are as staunch in their defense of Israel as Joe Biden is these days. And in fact, the Republicans are criticizing Biden for not being supportive enough of Israel. So if Donald Trump gets elected in the fall, all evidence is that he will be every bit as supportive of Israel as President Biden has been. The fact is that the lobby is enormously powerful, and it pretty much gets its way every time when it comes to the Israel-Palestine or the Israel-Hezbollah conflict situations. I wouldn't be surprised.
A lot of people have this doubt, or they actually made this claim, not doubt. They said that Donald Trump is not going to go to war with Iran. Well, you are completely mistaken. As I said, this is going to be his last term because he cannot run for presidency one more time. This is his second and last term. He doesn't care what his legacy will be as long as he serves the interest of Israel, because then he can obviously have his son, Baron Trump, whatever, and other people from the Republican Party, maybe not his son, to get the help they need from Israel, because this is the moment. This is when they can prove their loyalty. The Republicans can prove their loyalty, their utmost loyalty to the state of Israel, to the Zionist lobby, therefore securing a permanent support for the Republican, because regardless of what the situation is at the moment, the Israeli lobbyists, they're still supporting the Democrats who are pro-Zionist. But that's what the Republicans, they want to stop. They want all the support from the Zionist lobby towards the Republican Party, because if that happens, then the dream of Donald Trump of being the king or the dictator of America can be fulfilled. Because again, the Zionist lobby is so powerful, as John Mearsheimer, he just pointed out actually, that the lobby is hugely powerful. So if they want Donald Trump to become the dictator of the states, there is a good possibility that it can happen. But again, what Israel is facing right now from Hezbollah is complete annihilation, guys. 60,000 people fled, and this happened 2 months ago. What is happening right now is far more worse. They cannot afford it. Netanyahu, the Shaitaniyahu, cannot afford it. And so they are finding themselves in this struggle where they are going to face imminent and inevitable annihilation.
If Sheldon Adelson's wife is making these demands, and that Trump is doing everything he can to finesse this issue, to convince her that he will do that.
Situation is escalating every single time. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing if you're not subscribed yet. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a